Yes. Hello, you are most welcome for another lesson. Once again, you remember I told you to get these lessons, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Learn Mathematics with Saddam Hussein, and definitely you will be able to understand everything around here. So today we want to look at this theme of algebra that has always disturbed a lot of people, and it's always from the beginning here, from that preliminary part, which disturbs most of the children, and they end up not performing. So I want to solve some simple equations, but before that, let us look at some confusing statements. For example, we want to look at statements of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division under algebra. Look at this. If we have x plus x, then we have x minus x, then we have x divided by x, then we have x multiplied by x. When you have these four operations displayed and with the letters, remember under algebra, we always deal with the unknowns, and we are either supposed to calculate them or write them in short form. So we have x plus x. What is x plus x? Most of us should be able to understand that since this x you are seeing here is only appearing once, you are seeing it's only one x, and here is one x. That means the coefficient of this x is 1, and the coefficient of this x is 1. Now, if we have 1x plus 1x, you get your 2x. You add the coefficients, that's 1 plus 1, which gives you 2, then you maintain the unknown. I think we are clear there. Then when it comes to x minus x, this is 1x minus 1x. If you have 1x, for example, if I have this, then someone picks it away, I have nothing, totally nothing left. So we are going to have 1x minus 1x, which gives you 0. Not 0x again. Children have always made this mistake. They think because they have subtracted 1 minus 1, so they should maintain the unknown. No, you already have x and it has all been taken. So you have 0, not 0x. Why am I emphasizing these points? When it comes to collection of like terms during solving of these equations, most children always make mistakes here. We shall see as we move on. Now, what is x divided by x? X divided by x, you have 1x divided by 1x. Remember when you are cancelling, here 1, you cancel here 1. So x divided by x is 1, not 1x. Because the x will have cancelled itself, you will have divided x by x, so it remains 1, not 1x. You will realize that when you are subtracting unknowns of the same coefficient, the answer remains 0. But if you say 2x minus x, of course there are 2x here. When you remove one of the x, you remain only with 1x. But here they have the same coefficient. Even if you have 10x minus 10x, the answer of course will also be 0. As long as the coefficients are the same and the powers are the same. Now, x divided by x is 1. What about x multiplied by x? X multiplied by x is what confuses learners with x plus x. Most learners always want it to be 2x, not knowing that you are multiplying. Because when you are multiplying, you multiply the coefficient. 1 times 1 is 1. Remember, if the coefficient is 1, there's no need to write the coefficient of 1. So what is x multiplied by x? According to indices, when you're multiplying the same bases, we always add the powers. And remember I told that this is power 1, even here is power 1. Any unknown standing without a power is given power 1. So this one gives us x multiplied by x. You write your x, then you add the powers 1 plus 1, which equals to 2. So x times x is x squared. X divided by x is 1, not 1x. Then x minus x is 0. Then x plus x is 2x. x. That is something very simple that most of us always tend to ignore, but it is the foundation of handling these simple equations. So that if you are answering your work as a learner, you are able to pick out some of these important aspects and you integrate them, you put them in your equation, and you're able to interpret it well. That's what I've always told you, that when you are in this platform, when you're following me on YouTube, Learn Math with Madam say, you will always be perfect, you will always be good, and you will always perform. Having understood this, it's not only x, you can use any letter. For example, you can say p plus p is the same as 2p, or k plus k is the same as 2k. So after what we have seen there, we shall now look at some simple equation here by comparison. But remember, you should be very careful on how to interpret some of the simple equations after learning those two things. Now, when we are solving these equations, we shall be able to use the ideas that we have picked from there. Now, I want to use the idea of addition that we have seen up there. Take, for example, if we are given 2x plus x plus 3x equals to 12, and they want the value of x. This is a simple equation. But if you look at this part, the left hand side part, you will realize that this one has this x has a coefficient of 2, this one has a coefficient of 1, this one has a coefficient of 3. So you add the coefficients. What is 2 plus 1? We have 3. 3 plus 3, which is 6. So you maintain the x. Just maintain the x. You just add the coefficients 2 plus 1 plus 3. Then you maintain the x equals to 12. I see how simple I'm trying to make it. But I told you that when we are simplifying these equations, you have to learn. You have to know the other part very well so that you are able to interpret. So 6x equals to 12. So you divide by the coefficient of x. But remember always to rewrite that step so that when you are dividing, you have something like that. You have something like that. Even the same step, you repeat it here and you say equals 12 out of 6. That when you cancel like this 1, here 1. So our x equals 2. You cancel here 1, 12 by 6 is 2. You write here 2. That one becomes your answer. Here it becomes your answer. But the other thing that I'm emphasizing here is when you are dividing 12 by 6, don't do like this. That one you are crossing. But cancelling, you have to be very clear. You are dividing. You can see the difference of the slanting strokes there. So we need to be very careful and we can easily learn. I told you, subscribe with the YouTube channel, Learn Mathematics with Saddam, and you will be able to interpret a simple thing here. So before I leave, I want to give you a simple exercise. You will do for me this 3x minus 2x equals to 8. That is a very simple one. And then number 2 is 4p 4p plus 10p equals to 28. That is very simple. So we are going to handle these simple equations for a week. We shall be able to interpret it. Expect another lesson tomorrow as we move on step by step. Thank you very much for attending, and I still urge you to continue subscribing so that we can get more of these lessons. Greet everybody at home, mommy and daddy, and then you encourage them to support you as you also encourage yourself to work harder. May the Almighty God bless you.